Cooter Malloy here, coming at you with a final wrap up from Glenn Campground. This will be the last video that I do up here on this trip, unless I happen to catch another waterfall on the way down. But just wanted to summarize this whole experience. Right now I'm the only person left at camp. It's gorgeous up here, absolutely gorgeous. So Glenn Campground, West Fork, San Gabriel Mountains, lots of different areas to put your tent, your hammock. This grove is kind of nice. There were 2 campsites up there that I think got merged into one. 2 fire pits, 2 double wide barbecues. So that's good if I ever come back here with a bigger group. The only problem is that site up there is in the sun for most of the day. That's west. This was east. The sun's right there, and as the sun travels across, eventually you do get shade up there, but I feel like this campsite here was a little bit better for shade, if that's what you're curious about. Come up here, enjoy it, be responsible. You get the idea. So then you've got 1 barbecue. So this is the double ones that are up there are like an extra, maybe an extra like foot or so. It's like a double wide, and you had the double grill thing going on up there. Why they did the double grill, I think, was so that you could have 2 different temperature zones, right, by raising or lowering. Like, so you'd have like 1 grill down here. Anyways, you get the idea. There's 1 table here that's in relatively good shape. The one back there was dented on the end. I think somebody was trying to sit on the end or something, probably dented it, who knows. But just be responsible. A lot of this stuff is old. It's rusting, it's corroding over time. So something to think about. I did my bushcrafting. I'm probably gonna make lunch here in a minute. I want to put the camera away, put on my gear away so I can actually just enjoy lunch and just sit here for like an hour and just veg and do nothing. But I will start a little, probably do it in this one, the barbecue. I will start a little Swedish torch rocket stove thing going on. Maybe try both. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be more Swedish torch. But I batoned my wood. George brought his 20-volt sawzall and cut up all the wood. But I did have the Silky Saw just in case. These things are great. It cuts on the pull stroke, so keep that in mind. Then I had the First Edge laser strike bushcrafting survival knife, whatever we want to call it. This was the First Edge 50/50. I think this used to be the Navy SEALs knife of choice. This thing is a beast. It's kind of like an Esee 5. So Esee, if you're watching this video and you want to sponsor me and send me a 5, hey, I will definitely bring it up here and test it out, do some batoning with it and that whole vibe. But the laser strike was great. It's a slicer batoner, if that's what you want to call it. It's a little bit thinner. So this is the Esee laser strike. There is a, I believe there's a flint in here and some cotton, some petroleum soaked cotton so you can start a fire. That's for your bow drill if you want to do that kind of vibe. But you've seen me do other videos on this. I brought up my auger to try to do the rocket stove thing. This wood is extremely thick, dense, and hard, and I couldn't get through it. So that's why I had the backup to do the Swedish torch, which is right there. And then last night we had a blast. Last night we were using like our Trangias and isobutane stoves and that kind of vibe. One trick George taught me was if you buy the little canisters that go into those like square stoves, you can refill your isobutane stoves with butane, like those little canisters. You need the adapter piece and all that. I'll try to get some links and put them down in the description section. Maybe I'll have to do a whole video on that as well. I'm not a big fan of the isobutane or the butane. I just think that, you know, if you've got fallen wood and your permits and your restrictions and all that favor you to where you can do that and do the wood burning stove, I prefer that method, I think, more than any other method. Wood pellets, you saw me put wood pellets into a TomShoo in previous videos. But anyways, this is my Glenn Camp recap. There's the sign for the Glenn Campground. Here's your wood going. Right, this is the wood that George cut up. Did a beautiful job. George and I think Jose helped him. So did a beautiful job at that. This was the fire pit that we cooked in last night. 6-mile hike to get up here, in case you're curious, or you could bike in. But that's basically it. The IceMule cooler. This thing holds a lot of stuff. And I got my S-beaner to hang it. This is what I used to hang it last night. Keep the bears and the animals away and all that good stuff. And then you got your creek back there behind this little land thing. To get to the water, I went by the bridge and then went down. It was just the easiest way to do it for me anyway. If you saw the previous videos, you saw me actually go up this way. There used to be a pipe up there. Kind of sucks. There used to be a pipe up there that went straight into the mountain that was for spring water. I think it was spring water that actually came out of the mountain. Either somebody ripped it out, kicked it out, vandals, whatever, or just through the process of erosion. I mean, I would imagine when it was pouring rain up, this is April 2023, I would imagine when it was pouring rain up here, something might have snagged it and just ripped it right out of the mountain. That's possible too. You never know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I always tell everybody, just try to be responsible. But that was that, and then here was my sleep setup. My Superfly tarp is now wrapped up in the snakeskins. I put links to all this stuff down there below in the description. You see me do other videos on this. But there's my hammock. I had the Underquilt Protector. So Underquilt Protector. Then I had my UGQ outdoor 0 degree bag. Right, I got the 850 downfill. I think I did plus, whatever that plus thing is, I did that. Then in here, I had my Jacks Are Better High Sierra Sniveler. Then the hammock itself was the War Bonnet Blackbird. Where's that label? Hang on. I know you're in here somewhere. Maybe it's, there we go. My War Bonnet Blackbird XL, double XL, whatever it is. Slept really good. Usually, it's funny because usually on these trips when I do like a long hike in, like the 6 mile hike in with my little cart, I'll show you that in a minute. Usually I get cramps, like leg cramps, especially like inner thigh or like quads just start cramping up. I was really good about taking my potassium and my magnesium. So I took 500 milligrams of potassium, 500 milligrams of magnesium before I started, and drank like a full like 2 liters of water before I started. As I was hiking, I was drinking water. And then when I got to camp, I carved up. I had like top ramen, and I had like some sourdough bread that I made, sourdough pancakes. If you saw my cool handle pan, that was something that we did as well last night. So I had that action going on, and then you get the idea. So it was definitely an adventure. Then here's how I got up here, right? So I got the 2 milk crates and this cart, this game cart. I'm gonna do maybe one more video of me trekking along with this. I'll try to set that up just before I leave, and I'll show you what the whole, I'll walk past camera and show you how all that looks as I'm doing the trek. But I got my Foxelli trekking poles, budget bargain trekking poles. There's my underbelly sling, which should have gone underneath the hammock, but I kind of just, I'm like, forget it. Find 2 other trees, just hang up. Or if I only had one tree, right, back up to back up to back up. If I only had one tree, what I would have done was something like this, where you use a branch that had come out, or you can use a full branch or whatever. That's a Petzl rock climbing device. And then I would just clip carabiners in it as I went. So I've got my MSR dromedary bag with the water I'm gonna take out of here. I've got my MagForce day pack, which has like pepper spray. Very important to have on these trips, by the way. You always want to have, this is Sabre makes this. This is the maximum legal size you can carry in Los Angeles or state of California. This is pepper gel, actually, which doesn't get dispersed as much as, say, spray would. So the gel kind of keeps the cone a little bit tighter, and you can focus it more. But that would be more for like your, you never know, wild animals or whatever. Right now, current temperature is, what is that? I hit this again. 70 degrees. There you go. So 70 degrees is the current temperature up here. I got to get moving because it's going to get hotter as the day goes on. So I want to pack up and get out of here. But like I said, I will do one more video after this one of the actual pack out, what my trailer looks like and all that. I've tried other brands. I'm not going to mention any names, but this to me was the best setup. The only thing is I wish they had better wheels. I wish they had better wheels. Like those wheels alone weigh like 25 to 30 pounds between the pair. So they're about 10 or 15 pounds each. It's ridiculous. There has to be a better way. The cart itself holds up to 500 pounds, So God forbid you got into some kind of accident and you're with a buddy and you had to get down the mountain. You could haul your buddy out. You might have to leave some of your gear behind, but hey, I think a person's life is more important than any piece of gear. So comment in the comment section down there below if you've had to do that, if you had to sacrifice a piece of gear to save someone's life. I'd love to hear the stories. Those are great stories. So here's the backside of my setup. That was the hammock. Right, I found some nice trees to hang from. And that's basically the recap. So I'm gonna pack all this up, chill for a little while, and then I'll set up the camera and do one last video of me on the pack out, actually hiking out with all this stuff. So Cooter Malloy, coming from Glen Camp, West Fork area, San Gabriel Mountains. Use it, don't abuse it, be respectful, and this will be around for a lot more years, decades, centuries to come. Hit the like button, subscribe button, catch you on the next video.